If you guys think that making a hit piece on this guy is somehow beneath me, then I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. I will be the first one to tell you, never pass on an opportunity to be petty. And on top of that, Garry pissed off John Anik, and I just can't let that slide. Not on my watch.
Sorry, I completely ignored your question the first time.
That's all right. Your thoughts on this performance?
Ian Garry, a breath of fresh air, undefeated, handsome, has a wife that's almost twice his age. This was going to be the man that would put Ireland back on the map. The Irish had come to take over, again. When Garry first arrived in the UFC, fans welcomed him with open arms. There was no reason to do otherwise. Garry emerged out of the Cage Rage promotion with a pristine record of 7-0 and had captured the Cage Rage welterweight belt. He then got signed to the UFC in 2021 and has up until now beat all his opponents, amassing a record of 13-0, 6-0 in the UFC. Obviously, Garry is a talented fighter, but as a person, the guy is insufferable. So let's dive into this. We even have my old war buddy Patrick Duffy calling in to give us his analysis, so we can get a better understanding of the Irish perspective. Let's start with the Neil Magny fight, since it was there that Garry showed everyone just how charming he is. Garry was supposed to fight Jeff Neal at UFC 292, but according to Garry, Neal pulled out because him and his wife made a t-shirt that was so savage, Neal had a mental breakdown and called the whole thing off. That's it, Garry. Nobody kicks a guy while he's down quite like you do. Garry also said that he was carrying the card. Everything else was just window dressing.
I'm carrying this 292 card on my back.
Wow.
And that if it wasn't for me, this card would go down the drain.
He had a prediction as well.
Boston, I promise you are going to get a fucking finish for the ages.
But where things really went off the rails is when Magny said something about beating Garry like his kid. Could he have chosen a better threat? Sure, but after seeing how Garry acts, I think a smack in the head as a kid would have probably done him some good. It was then that Garry took it upon himself to give us all some parenting advice.
Nobody, there is no right to ever put your hand on a kid. Ever. Discipline anything.
Which is all fine and dandy, except you're not exactly dad of the year, are you, mate?
That's sick. Are you ready? I'm like, yeah. Me? All right, mate. Look, boom, sit the down. Can I just say, I am excellent. Frustrate the out of him. Beat him with that he's never done before. Honestly, I just wanted to beat the out of him. I was like, beat the living out of him.
I wonder what that kid's first words are going to be. Such a great role model. Garry went on to win the fight via decision, destroying Magny's leg in the process. But mate, you promised us a finish for the ages and you couldn't even stop a guy on one leg. After receiving some backlash, Garry suddenly shifted gears and said that it was never his intent to finish Magny.
And people always talk about, oh, you didn't finish him. I didn't want to finish him. I wanted to cause as much physical pain to that guy. I know that guy didn't walk home the next day. There's no way that guy was...
Nice save. People are really going to get on board with that. So after trying to end Magny's career with a horrific injury and all the other shenanigans, fans were left with a bitter taste in their mouths. But at least Garry is original.
You'll do fucking nothing. You'll do nothing.
He has personality.
You'll do what you're told.
You'll do what you're told.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
Say what you want about Conor McGregor, but at least he has charisma and intelligence. Garry is what you get when you order Conor McGregor off Wish. The guy is basically a fanboy that can fight. Just listen to Garry explain how he will beat Wonder Boy.
Is many people don't know how to solve the Rubik's Cube. He's a challenge, he's difficult. I believe I have all the keys and all the skill to go out there and find that victory.
With that peanut brain, the only thing you are going to be solving is how to tie your shoes. The The guy is all over the place, trying to appeal to everyone, talking about things he doesn't even understand. It's like listening to a jock playing Dungeons and Dragons for the first time. Do I put all my points in intelligence or penis size? And to make things worse, he's quoting Izzy, a guy that has received multiple tickets from the cringe cops.
Israel Adesanya said recently on his 292 preview, he said, I don't know how to explain it, I don't know what it is, but he's got that Goku energy. And I wanted to look up exactly what it meant to all the anime fans.
But don't take my word for it. Let's hear what a fellow Irishman on the ground has to say about Garry. All the way from Kilcock, Ireland, here's Patrick Duffy. Okay, so Patrick, what's the consensus over there? What do people in Ireland think of Ian Garry?
Aye, thank you for having me on monitor. The boy's a bleeding fool. He gets married to a woman and takes her last name.
Yeah, you mean Machado?
No, I believe it's pronounced Chado. The M-A is pronounced Coke down in Brazil. She even controls all his assets. The boy has to ask permission to speak, for fuck's sake.
Stocking, you haven't said a word yet. Well, now's your opportunity. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm going to interrupt 1 second.
I know. They're,
No, there's a Team KF guy fighting. What will it be like for you to not have that in the corner and not have that voice with you?
I think the woman's a hag.
Don't you mean wag?
I don't know and I don't care.
So for our viewers that don't know what WAG is, it's wives and girlfriends of athletes. Apparently, Gary's wife wrote a book, basically a manual how to trap an athlete and marry him or be with him.
Even Gilbert Burns' head doctor told Burns to ditch Gary. The boy's not right in the head.
So it's safe to say that Garry does not have the same support in Ireland as Conor McGregor had.
Mate, me jockstrap has more support than Gary. Rob Roy. Colin Farrell.
Okay, it seems that Duffy got cut off there, but we got the gist of it. So between getting kicked out of gyms for acting like a diva and KO'd by Edwards in training, Gary's only takeaway is...
Oh no, everybody knows. Anybody who I've ever trained knows how good I am. And I do it because I have a massive ego that I want to fulfill.
It's clear the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Vicente Luque clearly has his work cut out for himself. I just hope our boy Garry gets served up a nice slice of humble pie. Thanks for tuning in, people. Like, subscribe, comment, and all that shit. Until next time.